Hey Hope Church, Pastor Matt here. It is Thursday, May 14th, and I just wanted to share a couple of thoughts with you today. First out, starting at me, and you're saying, man, he looks different than he did on Tuesday. My my quarantine beard a trim and get ready for the summer, get ready for moving forward. So yes, I did have a much more substantial beard on Tuesday, and my kids are kind of disappointed that it's gone, but it is gone, and I'm looking forward to the summer and all the good things to come as we move forward. Today, for my quiet time, I read a couple of Psalms. I read Psalm 98 through 104, and I wanted to share just a piece of Psalm 100 with you. I talked about it several weeks ago, the last time I read Psalm 100, but a couple of verses stood out to me about a couple of things I'd been thinking about recently related to that verse. So just want to share that with you now. I'm going to read Psalm 100, verse 4 and 5, and this is going to be from the ESV. It says, "Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him, bless his name. For the Lord is good, and his steadfast love endures forever, and his faithfulness to all the generations." That's Psalm 100, again, verse 4 and 5. And I've been thinking just over these past 8 weeks or so that we have been walking through some really uncomfortable times, some difficult times, thinking about all the plans that have had to change with the spring and not getting to do all the things that I wanted to do, I had planned to do. But really, in the midst of all of that, there is so much to be grateful for. There's so much to thank the Lord for, even though things have not quite gone the way that I wanted or the way that I hoped or expected when I started the year out in January. On Tuesday, in my Facebook Live, I encourage you to consider what's God been doing in your life over these last 8 weeks or so. How has he been growing you? Today, I want to invite you to consider another question, and that is, what's happened over the last 8 weeks that is something that you can really be grateful for and really be thankful for? And when you think about it, hopefully there'll not just be something, but there'll be many things that you can really thank the Lord for that has happened in and around you over these last 8 weeks or so. For me, one of those things, I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago in a message that I did for Sunday morning, but one of my goals for this time that I set myself is I wanted to help my daughter, Kenzie, who's 4 years old. I wanted to help her learn how to ride her bike just on the two wheels. And I set the goal that, by June I wanted to do that. And this last weekend, we went to the park and we used the grass just to make sure how things would be in case she needed the help. But man, I ran alongside her for a minute with my hand back on the seat and then let go, and she took off and she rode the bike around on the grass for a bit, and then she was ready to ride on the trail that was there in the park next to the grass. And I had a hard time keeping up with her as much as she was going, and just over the last several days she's continued to ride her bike, and just the new sense of freedom and independence that she has as a 4-year-old because she can ride her bike. I felt really good about that goal that was able to be accomplished, and I was so grateful to God that he gave me some extra time as I've been taking some study or play breaks, as I've been calling them, in the afternoon to just go outside with the kids for a couple of minutes. And that's just one small thing to be grateful for me over this time. I've got many more, but that's just one that I wanted to share with you. So again, question is, what has been going on in the last 8 weeks or so that you can be grateful and thankful for, that maybe the Lord has done in you or through you or allowed to happen around you, even in the midst of a time when not everything that you wanted to happen has maybe been happening. I also want to give you a quick update as well. This weekend is a big weekend for us at Hope Church. Sunday, May 17th, this is our Leadership Transition Sunday, something we've been working on all spring, and we're here to the day. We made an announcement that we sent to our members of Hope through an email about the plans that we have to do a very brief parking lot service and a receiving line for Pastor Harold and Deborah. So we'll link to that webpage where we have all that information posted here in the comment section. But I want to invite you, if you're local, come to the parking lot on Sunday. Please pray that there's no rain. We've got a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C. And pray for plan A, which is at 9:30 in the morning. We will be gathering in the parking lot at 1750 Beach Street. We'll have just a brief service and then our car receiving line so that those who want can wave and say thank you to Pastor Harold and Deborah for their more than 42 years of service. Again, anything that we do this weekend in the parking lot is not going to do justice to the way that we want to honor them. We have postponed the celebrations that we were planning this spring. We've postponed them to a date in late August that we'll let you know about, where we really do want to honor and thank Pastor Harold and Deborah and show our deep appreciation for them. So Sunday, the 17th, that morning or afternoon, depending on the weather, will be just a very brief time to say thank you. Also, want to let you know that if you would like to send emails, you can send a typed message or a video message to thankyouPastorHarold@gmail.com. We started receiving those greetings and appreciative notes. We'll be making sure to get all those together and give to Pastor Harold and Deborah. But if you'd like to share a memory or a story or just say thank you, we want to invite you to send an email to thankyouPastorHarold@gmail.com. And then to clarify one question that came up that was a great question, our online church for the 17th is going to be different than what we are going to do in the parking lot. What's going to happen in the parking lot at 9:30 or 4:30 p.m. if we have to go to the afternoon plans, that's going to be just a very brief time, and the majority of that time will be the drive-by receiving line. We are going to have an online service that will be our transition ceremony. We've been working on filming several components of it this week and putting all that together. So starting at 7 in the morning, every 90 minutes, we will replay the transition ceremony that will serve as our Sunday morning service that day. Brian Kropp, who is our associate pastor over worship, he's going to host that time. He's going to explain to any guests that might be joining us exactly what's happening and why that service looks a little bit different than what we've been doing for the last several weeks. So if you're able to join us in the parking lot for the physical brief time of thank you that we're going to do, you might want to catch the 7 a.m. service or watch it sometime later in the day. But we did just want to make sure that it was clear that what will be online will be different than what we will be doing in the parking lot. So hope you can join us if you're local and you're watching this and it makes sense for you and your family. Go to hopechurch.com/May17 to get all the details, to get the most up-to-date information depending on what's happening with the weather. And please do pray for us that God would hold back the rain on Sunday. The forecast has been increasingly getting better. At one point, there was a very high percentage of storms all day. Right now, we're looking at a 30% chance as of the last time I looked about an hour ago. So please be praying that we have great weather so we can have this abbreviated short time of saying thank you to Pastor Harold and Deborah. So that is all. We will see you on Sunday online. Hope you have a great rest of your week.